In the arid expanse of a war-torn region, where the sun scorched the earth and the wind carried whispers of conflict, there was a legend among the soldiers of the 3rd Special Operations Unit. Not a man, but a dog. A German shepherd named Major. His sleek black and tan coat glistened under the relentless sun, and his eyes, sharp as the edge of a bayonet, missed nothing. Major was no ordinary canine. He was a military working dog, trained to perfection, and his record of leading successful raids had earned him a reputation that echoed through the ranks. Major's story began 3 years earlier at a military kennel in Fort Bragg. Born from a line of disciplined working dogs, he showed promise from the moment he could stand. His handler, Sergeant Elena Martinez, a wiry woman with a no-nonsense demeanor, spotted his potential during his first training session. While other pups stumbled through obstacle courses, Major moved with purpose. His ears pricked, his focus unbreakable. Elena, who had lost her previous canine partner to an IED, saw in Major not just a dog but a partner who could fill the void left by her loss. Their bond was forged in the crucible of training. Elena taught Major to detect explosives, track enemy combatants, and navigate the chaos of combat. He learned to respond to silent hand signals, to move like a shadow, and to bite with controlled ferocity when commanded. By the time they deployed to the Middle Eastern theater, Major was more than a dog. He was a weapon, a sentinel, and Elena's closest confidant. Their first mission set the tone for Major's legacy. The target was a compound deep in hostile territory, a suspected hideout for a high-value insurgent leader. Intelligence was spotty, and the terrain was a labyrinth of dunes and rocky outcrops. The unit's approach had to be silent, precise, and fast. Elena and Major led the way, moving ahead of the team under the cover of night. Major's nose twitched, catching a faint whiff of cordite and sweat. He froze, his tail stiff, signaling danger. Elena relayed the alert, and the team adjusted their path, avoiding a buried IED that could have ended the mission before it began. At the compound, Major's instincts proved invaluable. As the team breached the outer wall, he darted forward, his senses locked on a hidden sentry. Before the man could raise his rifle, Major was on him, teeth clamping onto his arm with just enough force to disarm without killing. The team moved in, securing the target without a shot fired. The insurgent leader was captured, and Major's name began to circulate among the brass. Over the next 2 years, Major and Elena became the tip of the spear for countless raids. In the mountains, they tracked a weapons smuggler through a blizzard, Major's nose cutting through the snow to find a hidden cave stuffed with RPGs. In urban sprawls, he navigated alleys thick with the stench of decay, pinpointing a bomb maker's workshop before a single device could be deployed. Each mission added to his tally: 37 successful raids, 0 losses on his watch. Soldiers began to call him the Major, a nod to his unofficial rank and unyielding presence. But it wasn't just his skill that made Major a legend. It was his heart. During a grueling operation in a besieged city, a young private, barely 19, was pinned down by sniper fire. The kid was bleeding out, his screams cutting through the gunfire. Elena and Major were 200 meters away, hunkered behind a crumbled wall. Against orders, Elena whispered to Major, "Go get him." Major didn't hesitate. He bolted through the open street, zigzagging as bullets kicked up dust around him. Reaching the private, he stood over him, barking fiercely to signal his position. The team laid down, suppressing fire, and Elena sprinted to drag the kid to safety. Major stayed by their side, his growls a warning to any threat that dared approach. The privates survived, and Major's collar gained another commendation. Not every mission was a triumph. In the spring of 2024, during a raid on a fortified stronghold, things went south. The intel was bad, and the team walked into an ambush. Insurgents had rigged the building with tripwires and had snipers perched on every rooftop. Major sensed the trap before anyone else, his hackles rising as he tugged Elena back from a doorway. But the explosion still came, a blast that collapsed half the structure. Shrapnel tore through Elena's leg, and 2 soldiers went down. Major didn't falter. Amid the chaos, he dragged Elena to cover. His teeth locked on her vest, then turned to face the enemy. He charged an insurgent aiming an AK-47, taking a grazing bullet to his flank but disarming the man before he could fire. The team rallied, fought their way out, and survived because Major refused to let them fall. Elena spent weeks in recovery, her leg a mess of stitches and pins. Major, patched up and limping, never left her side. The base hospital staff marveled at his loyalty, sneaking him treats despite regulations. When Elena was cleared for duty, she and Major were offered a stateside posting, a chance to train new handlers and dogs. But Elena knew Major wasn't done. His spirit was still in the fight, and so was hers. Their final mission came in the winter of 2024, a high-stakes operation to dismantle a terrorist cell planning a cross-border attack. The target was a remote desert camp, guarded by seasoned fighters and ringed with mines. Major, now 6 years old, moved with the same precision as ever, his age only deepening his instincts. He detected 3 mines en route, saving the team from disaster. At the camp, he led the charge, flushing out combatants and giving the team the edge they needed. The cell was neutralized, and the attack was thwarted. When the dust settled, Elena knelt beside Major, her hands running through his fur. "You did good, old man," she whispered. Major licked her face, his tail wagging despite the exhaustion in his eyes. That night, around a campfire, the team toasted to Major, their guardian, their hero. Stories of his raids, 37 and counting, filled the air, each one a testament to a dog who had become more than a soldier. Major and Elena returned to Fort Bragg in early 2025. He was retired with full honors, his service record etched into the annals of the 3rd Special Operations Unit. Elena took a training role, but Major was never far. He spent his days lounging in the kennel yard, mentoring younger dogs with a quiet dignity. Soldiers, new and old, stopped by to pay their respects, slipping him bits of jerky and recounting his legend. On quiet nights, Elena would sit with Major under the stars, her hand on his head. She'd tell him about the lives he saved, the missions he carried, the legacy he left. Major would listen, his eyes half closed, content in the knowledge that he'd done his duty. And in the silence, the bond between them spoke louder than any story. A bond forged in raids, sealed in trust, and immortalized in the heart of a dog named Major.